Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another plan with me, this time in my 52 weeks of Halloween planner, which is also my kids' memory keeping planner. And I have a couple of like Haunted Mansion kits, and I know that the Haunted Mansion movie is coming out. In fact, actually next week I have it to actually use the Haunted Mansion kit, another Haunted Mansion kit that I have. So I was like, you know what? We need to get all the Haunted Mansion kits out of the way because they're that good. So I have this one from Keatown, and this wasn't planned because I had every intention of planning these kits out for this year, and I never got around to doing it. And so every week I just pull out what kit is just kind of speaking to me. And I looked at the colors and I was like, man, because this doesn't have a lot of functionals that I want to use. And so I'm like, man, I wonder if I have functionals to match this color. And then I looked over and I was like, do the colors from the August functional sub match this one? Like, did we literally just have a match made in heaven? Like, can we just see? I'm thinking yes. So I'm gonna bring them in. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's get started on this. So this is my kids' memory keeping planner. We're doing July 17th through the 23rd. Oh, before I get started, let me show you what how last week turned out. So we are well into July. So here you go. So this was by Leonard Designs. It was a printable kit that I got. And yeah, so it turned out really, really good. I do have to... No, that's what they ended up having for dinner that night. We ended up having an issue with one of our pans and stuff. And so dinner did not quite ended up the way it did. So they ended up having kind of like fried chicken tacos. It was pretty cool. But anyways, loving all the Mortys, all the Boos. They're perfect for Halloween and for this. So I cannot wait to do the flip through. I think there's been only 1 week. And I'm trying to even think when, yeah, there's only been 1 week I never was able to put anything in. It just did not coincide very well. So let's go ahead and get started on this because I got stories, okay? Oh my goodness, I just got done having breakfast and now it's like, why am I having an issue talking? All the kids are upstairs. I'm like, be as quiet as you possibly can. I'm filming on a Monday, which is not my norm. I don't normally film on Mondays. I usually film on Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. But this last week was banana cakes. If you've watched my videos at all this week, you know that's the word I've been using. And has just been so crazy and just out of this world. So yeah, let's see. I think we are gonna do things just a little bit different than what I normally do, okay? So I have a lot of beautiful full boxes to be able to use, and oh, I'm gonna use them. That is for sure. I am definitely using the full boxes. I might get this. I'm not exactly sure just yet. I have some beautiful deco as well. And so I may just do a little bit of layering of things happening. But yeah, I think I have a lot going on here. And that's cool. So I'm gonna stick to elements of the kit. However, when I start to see like I don't have enough of something, I'm also going to pull it in and I'm going to add in some of like definitely like this burnt terracotta color because you can see that color in the background of some of these photos. So I figured that will tie in really, really well. And these will be our dinner stickers. Okay, so this last week, Wednesday, what was that? Wednesday the 28th? Let me just verify. I think it was Wednesday the 28th. Wow, that was not the week. Yeah, Wednesday the 28th. My boys left for a 4-day youth conference with our church, and they went up to Nauvoo, Illinois. where they were camping and going to do some items there. They left early on Wednesday. I'm gonna kind of go through it day by day because the story is crazy. Okay, it involves crazy storms, barns, trees falling, all that jazz. Stay tuned. So we spent all of last week getting them ready. We were last minute people to join in on this, so I was actually really surprised that they even let us join in. So do I stick with these glitter headers or do I use the glitter headers I have from this kit? Let's see which one. Ooh, I feel like this is gonna tie everything in so much better. It's not my first choice, okay? But I feel like it's gonna tie everything in just a lot better. I would like to have maybe some more of like these browns in here, not so many of the blues and stuff, but that's just me being particular about what I want. That's it. So this is me pulling in a brown. Anyways, so we spent the majority of last week. We were last minute people into this. We were able to get in and we spent Monday and Tuesday shopping and packing and getting all their stuff done. So Wednesday rolls around, they have their bags packed, we're up, we're ready to go. We're sitting in the church parking lot and the buses are late. The buses were supposed to be there at like 6:15, 6:30, and they didn't show up till like 6:45, 6:50. So we had 3 buses show up and all the kids get on, and it was not organized. Nobody was there to check who got on what bus. Nobody was there to organize the luggage underneath. It was a madhouse. We were like, oh, how's this gonna work? I really hope this goes well. All that jazz. Okay, so I think I'm going to use the circle covers, but I'm gonna do this number. I have an extra orange. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do it that way so everything is kind of a little bit more whatchamacallit, where the color of the washi strip is not the color of the circle date cover. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? All right, so this is also printed on the stuff right here is printed on the paper we just got in that has our removable adhesive. I've talked about it numerous times. I've talked with my manufacturer about getting a different adhesive on the back of our paper, and we came to a conclusion on what it needed to be. And after lots of sample testing and cutting, because it also has to cut on our machines. So we were able to do that, and I have been testing it out and lifting it up, and it is beautiful. It is a removable adhesive, and we've got unicorn paper. That I feel is like the holy grail of it all. So, but back to the story. So we, watched it all kind of go down and just kind of stayed out of it because not my circus, not my monkeys, even though some of my monkeys were there. So they get heading off. They were supposed to leave at 7 and they got on the road at 7:15. So not too bad, but still, anything to start you off late can kind of just set the tone for the entire trip. And so they got up there, got everything unpacked. We didn't really hear from them much that first day, so I figured it was probably pretty chaotic and insane. And so, we waited for their phone call that evening, got the phone call, all of that. They ended up doing a dance. So they ended up having a barn that was rented out and doing a youth dance over there, and they said that was fun. My oldest son was the wingman for a couple of people, you know, because do you remember your teenage years? You know, how you'd have a crush on somebody or thought somebody was cute. You wanted at a dance, you wanted to dance with them, but you were scared to ask them. Yeah, it's the same concept going on here, right? So my oldest was the wingman for a couple of people. And stuff, which I was like, that's so cool. And they had a good time. Just jamming out and enjoying and dancing, and lights out was 11, and then the next day they were going on a pioneer trek. So they were going to be I wonder, shoot, I don't have the clear date dots. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this. I'm just thinking, yeah, let's just put it right there. That works. So they ended up having to go on a pioneer trek. We watched, you know, the weather ahead. We knew that it was going to rain on Saturday. So, no, Friday. And stuff. So we knew that Thursday, the day that they were going to be doing this trek, was going to be long and hot and everything, but there was no scheduled storms for that day. Now, mind you, we knew of a storm system. Everybody knew of a storm system coming over through the plains. It's actually called what? It's called a derecho. Anyways, it's basically an inland hurricane, and in order to be classified as a derecho, it has to be 400 miles. Like, the storm system has to be 400 miles. I know, absolutely crazy and bananas. So, okay, I'm trying to think of how I want to do this here. How do I want to do this? I'm going to keep those. I don't have enough boxes, so like I don't have enough of these size boxes to do one every day. So I'm going to set those off to the side. Set everything else off to the side. I think we'll be golden with everything else. Let's move forward. Let's see, what do I have that I can use? Okay, so I have the larger stickies, but I don't think I'm going to use the larger stickies. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we're going to do some layering aspects of things. I probably will end up using the stickies, but we'll see. I want to do a little bit of layering. Okay, so we knew that there was a storm system coming in. It wasn't really supposed to hit, and there was no, there was no, hey, this is what's going to happen. They knew some of the risks involved and knew that they needed to, just keep an eye on it and stuff, and they did. So they ended up going out on this trek, and it was supposed to be a 12-mile trek. When about 4 or 5 miles in, everybody's phones went off with a tornado warning, and they were out in the middle of fields. They had nowhere to go. The house that they were going to, they called up to them, and they got in a truck and a trailer and came out to pick up as many kids as they possibly could. Somebody found a property that had a barn. Nobody was there, so they jumped into this person's barn, and it was a pretty good sized barn, and it was packed wall to wall because there was 300 kids on this trip. That's not including the adults. 300 kids on this trip. And so they ended, like I said, they were pushing these hand carts because it's a pioneer trek going from, across the plains, pushing these hand carts. They get the tornado warning. They're trying to do everything. Some people are freaking out. Some people were hiding underneath the carts. So they had to grab them and get them into the barn. They got about like 34 or 36 kids onto the trailer and over to the person's house and put into the cellar. Somebody had their 2-month-old baby there. One of the chaperones had their 2-month-old baby there, so handed the baby off to somebody in the group, one of the kids in the group in the cellar. As they were coming off the trailer, a tree fell and swiped down the backside, fell onto the trailer that all the kids were on, and swiped down the back of one of the kids. No major injuries and stuff, but that's still scary. And they rode out this storm and tornado. Now it's mixed, you know, stuff on whether there actually was a tornado or was just the storm. However, the winds were so bad, and obviously you know what like a hurricane looks like and how it swirls and stuff, so that may be why. But they did end up getting a tornado warning, and so we all know what tornado warnings are like, right? Let me see here. I'm trying to think what I want to do. So yeah, they ended up getting through it. The barn that they were in was actually like a pretty rickety old barn, and they were a little worried, you know, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being worried. I would be probably out of my mind. The mere fact that my kids came back and, you know, told their sides, I was amazed at what they had to endure. But anyways, they ended up sitting in this barn, packed side to side, back to front. My oldest was in the back of the barn, and my second born son was at the front of the barn, and stuff. So he was witnessing all, like, stuff flying by, you know, trees, limbs, fences from other properties, you know, all the things that you don't want to be seeing. Some people were stuck in a house and watching the fences go by as water was pouring into the basement, which was not exciting, and stuff. But then, the barn, sorry, I heard some like scraping upstairs, and I'm like, are they getting too loud for me? Do I have to stop? Anyways, so they, in the barn, you know, just, you know, obviously saying prayers and wondering, you know, like, are we gonna make it through? Please help make us through, like, let the storm pass, you know, all the things, right? And a tree falls onto the barn. Now, mind you, the barn had a tin roof. So everybody is looking at that tree falling onto the roof to be more of a sign that, hey, I'm, you know, putting this here so that the roof will stay on. Because if the roof had gone, I don't know what would have happened. The rain was pelting and was so hard. People said it hurt so bad when it hit their skin. So you just had, oh, I did an orange there. Let's not do that. Let's do this. So yeah, I mean, fun and very exciting times. Very, very exciting times for the kids. Cell phone towers were down. The buses, a lot of people were like, we're ready to go home. And I don't blame them on that one. But the buses couldn't get to them, so they had to stay, and their option was to clean up, to help with cleanup. That was the only option they had because there was no way of getting out. Now, where they camped exactly in the cabins, that place was fine, and the barn that they, you know, had that had the cafeteria in it and stuff was fine, which was amazing. However, no power meant a lot of the food went to waste. So the last night they were there, none of them had like good food to eat, which is understandable, right? So yeah, my kids definitely endured something absolutely insane. They had to dig down deep. They had to have the fortitude and the fortitude and the ability to see through on something that was scary. You know, we had leaders there that helped them out. Let's see. Let's do this way. And then I think I'm going to take, I said that I was going to use large stickies, but I have mini stickies here. Maybe I'll use a mini sticky. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I think maybe we'll use something else. I'm just in a layering mood today. And I feel like this kit is perfect for it because I'm having to bring in these functionals. So, okay. So yeah, they endured. They had a lot of faith and they persevered. And you know, I actually had no idea what was happening when it was going on. There was a lot of things that, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, but at the same time, they were not prepared. And so I can only say thank you for my kids making it through. And stuff. So I ended up hearing through the grapevine. Luckily, one of the ladies in our, in the ward, in our church, said, you know, told us, hey, you know, I just got off the phone with so-and-so, and one of my sons was in their group. So they have groups of mom and dads that are called Mom Paws, and then the kids get assigned to Mom Paws. And our second born was in that group, and she was very, very good at communicating and stuff, and just said, hey, can you let, you know, Amanda know that her son is okay, he's doing fine and stuff. So I was like, so when I got the text message from her, and she was like, so-and-so wanted me to let you know that Landon's doing fine and he's okay and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool, thank you for the update. And then she was like, do you know what's going on? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, have you not heard about the tornado that happened? And I was like, what? Excuse me? And so, and it was really funny because before I got that text message, so to just kind of, you know, rewind just a minute, before I got that text message, I had received a phone call from my oldest saying, hey, Landon has my phone. Can you give him a call and tell him to meet us in front of the house? And I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Little did I know what was happening. My son at that point did not even tell me, did not tell me that there had been a whole huge storm like this. So I had absolutely zero clues. Okay, zero clues. But this story is not about me. It is just, it's about the whole evolution. So anyways, moving on. They, you know, I call Landon up and his voice sounds weird on the phone. And I was like, is this Landon? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, hi, buddy. Aiden just called and wanted me to tell you to meet him in front of the house. And he's like, okay, what house? I'm like, I don't know, in front of the house. You know, like I said, I still don't know what's going on. And everything. And I was like, you know what? Here, let me give you the number that Aiden called from. You call him and you guys figure out where you're supposed to be meeting. He's like, okay. He didn't tell me either that anything was going on. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I haven't quite processed that one from a mother's perspective. But needless to say, after that, that's when I got the text message from the other lady saying, hey, you know, Landon's doing okay, you know, and stuff. And then me going, oh, okay, cool. And her going, do you know what's going on? And then she gave me a phone call and she let me know. She was like, yeah, I've heard from my son, and my son is with your son, with Landon. So they're good, no injuries, this, that, and the other. And I was like, cool. All right. And because I had heard from them after this had happened, if I had heard about it before I had heard from them, I probably would have been a little bit more stressed out and freaked out now. Not to say that I wasn't stressed out, But I knew, one, there was nothing we could do. Even if we drove up there, we couldn't reach the kids because of the roads and stuff. So I knew that I just had to remain calm. I had to just go, okay, we're going to hear from them. We'll check in on them, all that stuff. They're going to be fine. If once the roads and some of the power is up, we need to go get them, we can go get them. That will not be a problem. So, luckily we didn't. And I had packed a battery pack for my oldest, to charge his phone when he needed. That came in clutch. He really conserved the power on his phone. I have to, man, for a teenager, I really have to give him so many props because he really did do an amazing, fantastic job. His phone never died. He charged it. He would power it off. He'd let us know. He'd be like, okay, hey, this is what we're doing. These are, the people we're with. I'm going to turn my phone off. So if you can't find, if you can't contact me, it's not because something's happened. It's my phone is off. So he maintained a lot of communication. I have to give him so many props. Like, for a kid, man, I am so impressed with how he handled this, because I know a lot of adults would not have handled it the way he would have. So I'm very, very impressed with him right now. Very, very impressed. Okay, so let's see. Let's do right in here, and then we'll do another, I think we'll do this up in here. Okay, so he never, like I said, he never lost, his battery never died. When it came time for, his phone, the battery pack lasted. The battery pack did eventually die because he did share the battery pack with other people. So that battery pack, for like the $10 that I spent on it in the Walmart checkout stand aisle, came in absolutely clutch. It is the best. It is the best battery pack we have ever had. And we have had so many of them. So anyways, getting back to it all. Yeah, he shared the battery pack with others so that they could charge their phones and, call their parents and when they needed to and stuff like that. So that battery pack came in clutch. It died. He said it died Friday evening, and they were coming. The battery pack died on Friday evening. So come Saturday morning, he only had like 25% battery left, and stuff. So he, called us. Was like, hey, we're heading off to Carthage. My battery is pretty dead. I'll take photos, but I'm gonna also turn my phone off. And we're like, cool beans. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Just let us know when you can for, ETA of time being home if you can. If not, we'll be there, So, yeah, you guys, crazy adventure. So my sister went on trek when she was 17, and this was back when trek was like a 3-4 day adventure type stuff. And she goes, the thing that I remember the most was walking past the same dead cow 3 days in a row, because they would have to on one day they'd go 12 miles that way, and then the next day they'd walk back, and then they'd walk back this way. So it was, that's not the kind of trek the kids go on these days, but still, it was crazy. It was insane. And they definitely have a story to tell, and stuff. So yeah, I mean, that is the story of my kids going on trek and enduring a tornado slash inland hurricane storm, whichever it may be. It doesn't matter. The winds were bad, trees were down, power was down. The house. Oh, what I forgot to say is the trailer that came to get like 34 of those kids and took it to their storm shelter, that house was leveled. There was no house when the storm was over. So that's why we think there was a tornado there, because a whole house was gone. So yeah, there was definitely some like moments of going, whew, this is a little crazy, but we got this. The kids got it. You know, they've got this. That really is all there is to it. They've got this. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put this all the way down here so that I can still get in a glitter header right there. So yeah, so I'm sure, like I said, the stories will become a little bit more elaborate as time goes on, but I'm so glad that all of the kids managed to not be hurt, that once the storm was over, that they, you know, got through and did service and got trees cleaned up and, you know, did what they were trying to do, did what they were supposed to do. So yeah, I know, absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And yeah, and I mean, my oldest is 17 and my second born is almost 15. So they definitely have a story to tell. That's for sure. And maybe I hope that they never have to go through something like this ever again. That's for sure. Okay, so sorry, I was trying to figure out what I needed to put down there. Okay, so we have the dinners here. We have the boxes here. So much layering going on. It is absolutely gorgeous. So much stuff up above being crashed down onto the floor because that seems to be what happens. So my kitchen is right above this filming area. So yeah. All right, let's see what little bit of deco. So we have these bats. There's that house. I feel like the bats will be pretty much what we need to have around in this area. I don't do a lot of deco in kits, so when I do, you know, it's pretty important. It's pretty special. It's because I like it. All right, so let's finish up the sidebar. Yeah, there was more things that they did and saw, but that's, you know, the bulk of the story was the storm and what happened. I mean, they came home absolutely exhausted, which I don't blame them, and stuff. So yeah. Okay, let's take a look. I'm trying to figure out what to put in here that can be for, let's see, do I have the freebie page? Because I don't know. Let me stack this all up because then that'll make it easier for me to go through page by page. I have this little bit of page. Sidebar is always extremely hard for me. I don't really want to do any more deco. I mean, I will if I have to, but I don't particularly want to. That's why I'm like, is there room for this? But then there's not any room for a box to put down the week. Okay, so then let's go back to the journaling kit. Because then I'm thinking like a quilt square and then a quarter label is what I'm thinking here. Okay, where did it go? I totally passed it up. Okay, so let's see. Will I have, oh yeah, I think that will work out very, very well. We put the quarter box or the quilt box right there. And then let's grab a stitched box and we will put it right here. There we go. Oh my Hannah, you guys, look at this. This is gorgeous. Okay, I gotta get everything out of the way so I can open this up. It was a match made in heaven. This was supposed to happen. I don't normally plan to do things like this. Every once in a while it lines up, but the majority of the time I don't plan to use like functionals in this. It's only if I don't have enough functionals. Overall, I really try to let the kit speak for itself. However, I am super thrilled with the way that this turned out for memory keeping with all the layering. I mean, we have some ride or die functionals going on, and then we've got the fun layering effect and quilt squares and like, yes, and all of the colors you can see in these full boxes. So it's like, mwah, chef's kiss. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Leave comments down below. Tell me what you thought of the entire crazy experience that these kids had to go through. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye now.